Now, one of the big benefits of Rasch analysis is that it puts students and items onto the same logit measurement scale, so we can compare them directly to see whether the items are of appropriate difficulty for our students. So we can do that visually using what's called a person item map or a right map. So if we go to the graph menu, we can see item map, and I need to be in the Rasch items database screen for this. So graph item map, and what we want to do is map the B parameter, that's the person ability, and the item difficulty. So we look for Rasch items. Okay, and we click run. And what we have now is a map with the ability and difficulty scale vertically, so logits are vertical. So more difficult items are at the top, and more higher ability persons are at the top. And at the bottom we have the easy items and the low ability persons. So here we have a distribution of person difficulty. We can see most of the students are roughly in the middle around 0 logits. So 0 logits is the average item difficulty. So in general, this test is of appropriate difficulty for this sample of students. We have some students, some very, very low ability students here, and they are struggling with even the easiest items. Only a few vocabulary items were really within their ability range. So here we have the items in entry order. So at the beginning we have our close listening items, and they're pretty easy. So only the very, very lowest students struggled with those. Okay, so those items are suitable for low ability students. Then we have our listening dictation items, and you can see those are much, much more difficult. Only the very good students were matched to those. So those items are really only useful for much higher ability students. Then we have the close elide items, and we can see there's a big gap in the middle here. This is because the unplanned items, these lines of text that had no errors, were very easy to identify. Only the very lowest ability students had any problem with that. And then the planned items, where there was a error introduced into the text, they were quite difficult. So really this item format is only useful for the higher ability students, because these unplanned items don't really do a lot of work. It's only these planned items, these difficult items, that are doing much work. Then we have the vocabulary section, and we can see there's a lot of very easy items at the beginning, and then it becomes much more difficult at the end. So the vocabulary items are actually very useful. They can measure right across the ability range. So we can use this to determine which items are useful at different cut points. So if we want to have a remedial class, we'd probably cut it at -3 logits. If we wanted an extension class for the very highest ability students, we'd probably cut it at about 2.5 or 3 logits. And then we have these students in the middle, maybe one high class and one low class. So this item map can tell us a whole lot about how our students and our different item types are matching up.